Do you ever wonder why the same type of client issues keep showing up? More than 15 years ago, I was given a piece of advice that completely changed how I handle those moments. Instead of treating client problems like isolated annoyances, I started logging them. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how that system works and how it helps prevent repeated headaches before they become patterns that drain your time and energy. Most creatives move on quickly from uncomfortable client moments. You deal with it, fix it, and keep going. But when you do that, you lose valuable information. Small moments are signals, and when you capture them, they tell you where your systems are breaking down. Memory is unreliable. It fades, especially when you're juggling multiple projects at once. Patterns, on the other hand, are black and white. You see the same issue written down 5 times, it stops feeling like bad luck and starts feeling like a fixable business problem. Maybe you notice that late approvals always come from a certain type of project. Or scope creep tends to happen when the client is cutting corners due to budget constraints. Or that rushed timelines often lead to unclear feedback. Once you see what types of requests or behaviors crop up again and again, you can build proactive systems that prevents them rather than reacting every time. Have you ever noticed the same client issue repeating? Hit like if that's happened to you. And if one specific client issue keeps repeating in your business, share it in the comments. Even naming it is the first step towards fixing it. Hi, I'm Kiff Staley, your creative business's friendly legal eagle. This is where my system comes in, my Never Do Again book. It's not fancy, it's not complicated. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Here's how it works. I record every problem client situation. If something feels off, I write it down. Not just what happened, but what triggered it, how it affected my workflow, and what my response was. I often use the following structure. When the client did X, I felt Y, so I responded Z. Most lawyers would tell you to stick to the facts, but I'm not one of those lawyers. I know that including how it felt is important. Stress, resentment, confusion, those emotions point to boundaries that need support. I know that if something consistently creates tension, that's my sign that my systems need reinforcement. Then I analyze this for patterns. At first I did this on a weekly basis, but then I increased it to a monthly review, and 15 years in, I do it quarterly. Where are the same requests, missed deadlines, or scope creep reoccurring? My goal is to determine the reoccurring stress points, because when I do that, I can design a solution, not just react to the problem. Once I've identified a potential root problem, I then create a proactive process. Maybe this is an email template, a tweak in a contract clause, or adding a client check-in. The step isn't about putting out fires. It's about trying to stop that same fire from starting again. Sometimes I try a tweak and that same fire crops up. This isn't a failure. It's great data. I then use that information to try something else. Every piece of information I use to iterate to a calmer client workflow. I will admit, after 15 years of doing this, there is no finish line. My life changes, my clients change, my offerings change, the world changes. And because of that, I know I'll be forever evolving and iterating to create a smoother workflow for me and my clients. Once you see patterns, you might want to create scripts to handle them so that you don't have to rethink every single time. If you want a jumping off point, I share some of my common scripts in Copy Paste Legal Week. Logging gives you awareness. Patterns give you clarity. Systems give you calm. Together, they turn frustrating moments into meaningful improvements in how your business is run. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to set client expectations up front so these issues show up less often in the first place. Do you already track problem client situations? If so, share how you do it. And if you don't, comment starting below to hold yourself accountable. I'll see you next time.